Bitcoin has been in a pressure cooker for 44 days, and it's getting ready to burst. If you're new here, welcome in. My name is Steve, and on this channel, we do things differently. We stand out from the crowd. When everyone goes left, we go right, and we base it all on the facts in the charts. So hit that subscribe button. You're going to love it here. First up, we've got a daily chart. And there's a lot happening here. We've got price action making a high and a higher high, another higher high, another higher high, and for a fifth consecutive time, another higher high. At the same time, we've got this indicator, the RSI, on the daily making a high, a lower high, another lower high, another lower high, and another lower high. Following those 5 data points, this is strong bearish divergence. It's been forming for 44 days. Now you may say, okay, well, divergence, how strong is it? Well, I'll show you this chart. And for 6 months, we were forming bullish divergence. And we broke from about 15,000 all the way up to 25,000 because of that divergence. So divergence is incredibly strong. And the longer the period, the stronger it is. So we're sort of in a pressure cooker. We were in a pressure cooker back here, and we broke that pressure cooker with bullish divergence. And now we're forming this bearish divergence over the past 44 days. You can see down here at the bottom, we actually have the bulls in control. When green is on top, price goes up. When red is on top, price goes down. It's very simple. Down here at the bottom is the ADX and DI. What we also have up at the top is a bull cross, okay? We had a golden cross right here on February 6th. That's when this green line, the 50-day moving average, crosses above the red line, the 200-day moving average. And if we just go into price action and try to make sense of what this means, we haven't had a golden cross since back here when price was at about 46,000. Right? And we went from 46,000 up to 69,000. That was a short-lived cross. We actually had a death cross back here, back when prices were at roughly 42,000. And then since then, we've crashed down, right? So these golden crosses and death crosses are sort of bigger momentum shifts. You want to look at the chart, and on the daily chart, there will be some false signals, especially when the market is consolidating. When the market is a trending market, it's a very good indicator, but when it's a consolidating market, there'll be a lot of false signals. Case in point, death cross here, no false signals. Golden cross here, no false signals. This was a trending market, trending down, trending up. Okay, with the consolidating market, you will have some false signals. Case in point, these signals here. Right? But what we see now is we had a golden cross at the beginning of February. A lot of people do not follow golden crosses and death crosses. They learned about them on our channel many years ago. We've been covering them since. So we can take into consideration, hey, we have a golden cross. We can take into consideration ADX and DI. Hey, we're bullish there. No denying that. Those are just the facts in the charts. We also cannot deny, we cannot overlook this bearish divergence. Now, price has sort of been at a relative standstill, right? Relative for the past handful of weeks, and there's good reason for that. Once we broke this bullish divergence, even before we broke it, we said right here on our channel, hey, if this bullish divergence breaks and our pressure cooker breaks to the upside, and the pressure cooker we were in was a multi-year downtrend in the RSI, once we broke that, don't be surprised if price rallies up to this red line, right? That's exactly what we've done, and we've been met with relatively heavy resistance since then. So one may ask, okay, we're going to have a relatively large move coming up. You can see we've got this bearish divergence forming. You can see right now the bulls are in control. We had a golden cross, and we've got this resistance. How do we make sense of all of this? Well, we're dealing with 2 different time frames. This is the weekly time frame, and this is the daily time frame. So there's 2 angles to look at. If we talk about the big picture is we are at heavy resistance right above our head. This is a critical level. And how do we know it's critical? We look left and we have this red line here, right? This red line on the weekly chart is the 200. So it's the 200 weekly moving average, which played a magnificent role, an incredibly important role in every single bear market. Case in point, this is the COVID crash, held critical support right at that red line. 2018 held critical support right at that red line. 2015 held critical support not once, not twice, but 3 times at this red line. So history tells us this red line has been our support. When you break support, it becomes resistance. So it is not surprising in the least bit that we're met with resistance. In fact, when we were on our way up here, we pointed out that the fact that these candles were getting smaller as we were coming up to one of our most critical levels of resistance, it's not surprising we have yet to cross that level. We called this out weeks ago when we were coming up. This is back at the end of January. We said, hey, look, these candles are getting smaller. And you can use this trick in any time frame. You can look at the 1-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, the hourly chart, the 4-hour chart. It doesn't matter. When you're coming up to critical level of support, or especially in this case, a critical level of resistance, and your candles are getting smaller, it's a bad sign. If these candles were getting bigger as we were coming up to a critical level, that's a really good sign, especially if the breakthrough candle is an even bigger candle. It tells you the momentum is really going to continue through that level. But in this case, smaller candles approaching a critical level, it's not surprising that several weeks later we have yet to cross. Now, I will point out these wicks. You can see the wick of this candle from February 13th and the wick of this candle, February 20th. These are rejection wicks, right? We came up here and there was a lot of selling pressure that came into the market, and case in point, you see these wicks. Now, what you start to see is this green line, the 50-week, starting to hold as resistance, and it's starting to push us down. And you can follow the curvature of this line to potentially gauge what's going to happen. But right now, this green line has come down and kind of just pushed our heads down further. You can see it happening and unfolding right in front of our eyes. So those are just facts, right? Another fact is the down here at the bottom, right? We have our stochastic RSI, and every 6 months we have a cross. And right on schedule, back in November, we had a bullish cross right here with the stochastic RSI 6 months previous here, 6 months previous to that here, and 6 months previous to that here. These crosses are nothing to play with. What we do notice right now, hot off the press, is that we do have the blue on top. Blue on top is bullish. Right now, we have it on top. So we have some momentum coming into the market. We know that the bulls are in control. We just made sense of that here. But we also know we're at heavy resistance, and we also know that there's bearish divergence. These are all bona fide facts of what's happening right now in Bitcoin. But make no mistake about it, for 44 days, this has been building up. And also for those same 44 days, we have been met with resistance. So something's got to give. Something has to give. Now, if you want my honest opinion, and you're probably wondering, hey, what's going to happen here? What can we look at? Later in the week, I'm going to drop some really incredible telltale sign videos. So make sure you subscribe, but I'm going to give my opinion now. And then afterwards, I want to give an update of my son's birthday. You may be wondering, hey, what happened with your son's birthday? What did you guys do? I want to give a couple words about that in a moment. So stick around for that as well. But we've got a lot of information happening in the charts. There's a lot of confluence at this level, right? This level of resistance that I just showed you with the 200-week moving average, this is not the only level or the only chart that dictates this level is incredibly critical. Many charts have confluence right at this area. It's a specific area that Bitcoin is met at a very specific time in the bear market. We reach this level of critical resistance, and it's a test for Bitcoin. It's a test for what is Bitcoin going to do at this critical level. And that's what I'm going to discuss in a video later this week. But right now, what it's looking like is we're not showing strength, right? Case in point right here. Candles getting smaller as we approach this level. Large selling wick number 1, large selling wick number 2. Nobody can look at this chart and say, hey, we're showing strength heading into this level. This is just a pure fact, okay? This is not my opinion. This is not what I hope is going to happen. This is just a bona fide fact. We are showing weakness heading into our most critical level in Bitcoin. At the same time, we're also showing signs of a pressure cooker building with bearish divergence that's been forming over 44 days. Yes, right now the bulls are in control. Green is on top. Yes, we had a golden cross. All of those things are true. But what it's looking like is we're going to continue to be met with resistance. Now, I will tell you, on any time frame, the longer you spend showing weakness at a critical level, you will get rejected from that level. That's just what happens in trading. So the longer Bitcoin stays here and not cross that level, the more potential we have to really see some stronger rejection from that level. This happens in any time frame, and especially when you're looking at the weekly chart starting in the beginning of January, and you see how it's played out over the last few months. It's looking like we may have some rejection coming in March. What we're going to look at is we're going to judge this line here. We're going to keep a close eye on the golden cross. We're going to see how this resistance plays out, as well as the bearish divergence. And now I'll get into a couple words about my son's birthday. First and foremost, thank you for all of the birthday wishes. I literally went through many of the comments and I showed my son all the people wishing him a happy birthday. This really brought a smile to his face. He's still trying to understand this concept of like, okay, dad is always studying these charts and then he makes these videos and some people in the world watch them and they comment. It's a very strange concept for somebody who just turned 4, but he's starting to grasp it. But it really brought a smile to his face that these humans that are out there somewhere on planet Earth commented about him and his birthday. This really brought a smile to his face. So thank you to everybody. Also, welcome to all of the new students that were lucky enough to get the indicator bundle. And for my son's birthday, look, we're not like materialistic people, so we didn't get like materialistic gifts, but we did have some very good memories. And to me, that's more important, especially I'm about to move my family to a new country, so we don't travel with a lot of like stuff. I know a lot of people collect a lot of stuff. I'm a little bit the opposite of that. Each thing we have has tremendous value to our family and a lot of use cases for us. So we're more about memories. Like, let's spend our money on memories. So as you know, I was living in Australia for a little while. I've been here in Hong Kong. We brought my son here for a traditional Chinese New Year. We've been here for about 2 months, and now we're moving to our next country. I do not live a normal lifestyle. So pretty much there's nothing about me that's like normal. Everything I do is pretty much against the grain, and I love the life of traveling and freedom, and so does my wife. We've been doing it now for like 10 years. So more to come from our next location. Oh, I did want to mention this. Somebody asked me, hey, Steve, you were giving away a free masterclass course to people in need. How do you know they're really in need? How do you know they just didn't email you with some made up story from Chat GPT who just made up from AI? And my answer to them was like, look, I'm going to stay true to myself. I believe that the people in need are the ones that have written us over the years. We're going to help them. Do I know for a fact that they're actually in need? No, but I also don't care. I want to help people that tell me they're in need. I can't verify or not. And also, that's not important to me. What I'm going to stand true to myself. I believe if you give good energy out into the world and spread that message and give back, it will all come back to me in some way, shape, or form. And that's what I care about. Those people individually know if they wrote the email, and I believe they did. So those people will be helped, and that's all that matters to me. I'm going to stay to my guns. I know that it's a little bit frowned upon to help people. And then how do you know if you're going to help this person or that person? I'm going to try to help everybody. I do these videos for free. We don't take paid ads. There are no sponsorships. I've never, ever, ever taken a dime from a sponsor. And let me tell you, I mean, I've probably turned down over these years millions in sponsorship money. And I'm going to continue to do that. And I don't care. I'm going to stay true to myself, and I'm going to continue to help people. And that's it. So thank you for your support. I'll see you right back here in the next video. Peace and love to the fellow underdogs. Do you want to know when to buy and when to sell? Click this video right now.